Burak, I see you in the house. I'm looking forward to talking to you. I'm going to give you the controls. You're going to be able to control our television set here. Want to welcome you back to F.A.C.E. We're with Burak at Trading Channels coming up right now. So there it is.
Hello.
Hi, Burak. Welcome back to F.A.C.E., my friend.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. So a lot of action since you and I talked. How many months ago was it, my friend?
Probably over a year ago.
Oh, okay. So you're overdue.
Yes.
All right. So we covered your story. So yeah, a lot of people do a lot of channel work, and you know, I have a saying. It's probably too skeptical that Trendline's destiny is to be broken.
That's right.
Do you believe that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, why? Because look how long this channel has worked. So, you know, so eventually they'll be broken. But interesting line you have here, because I don't know, there's just so much bearishness right now in the euro, and you're showing a pretty important, significant support level right here. Am I reading it correctly?
That's very correct. So the visualness of the chart, I guess, doesn't need much explanation. We are at a very important inflection point, in my view. The reason is obviously the downtrend, the red one, is huge. So in the long term, when this channel breaks to the upside, and I expect it to break to the upside, I would be turning quite bullish. But for now, as long as this particular channel is in control, I would be, I mean, we basically turned right here, again, bearish. As you can see, this nice, the underside, the back test of this nice broken support was pretty good. And there was one small channel here, and that one was broken down. So it was a confirmation of that top. And now we have formed this blue channel that is pointing further down.
What's the time frame? This is the weekly chart.
This is weekly. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
This is weekly, but this is log scale. So I just want to particularly emphasize that I mostly on all of my long-term charts I use log scale. Very important for the commodities. It may make not much difference on Forex, because Forex doesn't make a lot of multiples of moves in multiple powers. It doesn't go from 2 to 6 or 10. So it matters when the prices go up and down in multiples. But I still see value even in Forex. So this is a log scale chart.
Okay. Let me ask you, can I ask you about how you came up with the midpoint line? You know, to me, it kind of resembles a pitchfork, but I know you're not using Andrew's pitchfork, are you? How did you come up with that line, since if you look to the left, it goes through a lot of price action, but becomes very relevant right here?
Exactly. So very good question. When I'm finding these internal supports and resistances, I don't follow a specific percentage or a midline, but I hover this line to find out if there is any precedence and if the prices have reacted on those lines, just like the outer boundaries of the channels.
Okay.
I would call it walls, and these are the corridors of the channels. And that's
great metaphor. It's a house.
Yeah.
You have walls.
Kind of, that's
you have corridors, and where's the master bedroom?
That's right. The master bedroom where we are at now.
We're kind of like, we're either holding here or we're going to the basement. So
exactly.
All right. So actually, just looking at the euro, if we don't hold here, then your blue channel line comes into play next down at the bottom. Is that the next important
line?
Line?
Yes. And if this green...
Go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
If this green diagonal resists support, so you can see it's quite accurate. So it has some precedence all the way from 2012.
Okay.
And
look
have
at all
out.
those hits. Yeah.
And then it was back tested. If you count this one as well, maybe it got closer, but 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 touches lately in 2018 and 19. So it's kind of when you have a support or resistance that's being forced and bashed quite a few times, it makes it weaker. And the more hit you get, it's like the more power it will have once it's broken. That's how I see it, as like a living, as like a dam's wall. Once it's cracked, or it holds a lot of water behind it, and that's like stops below. Obviously, once the long stops get hit, the downward move would be quicker. And I believe if this green support breaks together with the red internal one that has, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. So that's some like really important inflection point here. And I think 1.1150, 1.1150 is where we can be sure that it's breaking to the downside. And here is a big gap, which is the Macron presidential.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for eventually, long term. And I'm looking for a bounce interim first, at least some type of bear market rally, maybe even back to 114-ish. It's a possibility, but that number that you have again is the Macron
107,
gap.
I think.
The
gap.
105.80, I think, is the gap there, Burak.
Yeah. Let me see. I see it as 107.20 or something.
Oh,
but
okay.
it depends on every broker.
Platform?
Yeah. I saw many different gaps on different platforms, but the idea is this gap may get filled.
Okay, so 111.50 is a very important line in the sand in the euro for you, and under that, acceleration to the downside.
Yeah, 111, maybe a little. Yeah, 111.50 would do it, I think. Yes.
Okay. All right. What else is on the radar?
Okay, let's go to. Let's see.
Okay, that's interesting to me.
This is oil.
Crude. Yeah.
Crude oil, West Intermediate WTI. Yeah.
I really love your technical work. It's excellent.
Thank you.
These pictures that I might see something similar, but you're really clean and crisp formation looks and interesting channels. That it's kind of an art, isn't it? To the longer you've been doing this, you start to see things and you experiment and draw a line, erase a line, and seeing over time. You can see these things that, say, for example, someone who's been trading for a couple of years would not see.
Thank you. Because of the rules that I follow to form the channels, is basically like now they're all ingrained in my DNA. So I kind of see them before even I draw them.
I know what you mean.
For very, very simple, like a very basic example, is the bottom out of oil. Maybe that can show how my brain works with my analysis. So when back in December of 2000, what was that? December 2019, right? So this is
the end of the
low.
year. So you had that red line drawn before it got there?
Yes.
Based on a parallel from the top?
It was I drew both of them. So the blue one, I was ready for that inflection point. Before the bounce, I don't say that there's a channel, because you need two touches minimum on both sides to call it a channel. That's the main rule. And you get the second touch on the blue is here. Yeah. And then you also get the second touch on the bottom band on the red one, right there.
Where was the first touch? Where was the first touch? All the way back.
The first touch was you mean on the red one?
Yeah, the bottom red one. look how far back
here.
it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back to
quite far away.
2016.
Yeah, this is 8 hourly.
See, I never would have thought. The only way I would have been able to do it is I believed in the top line you had up there, and then drawn some type of parallel line to that channel.
Right.
I don't think I would have looked back to 2016.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, nice.
I was looking for a bear flag formation. This is a huge bear flag in the making, but I can't. We can't confirm it until it breaks.
Okay.
But if
so, this is a great learning because it's live. Yeah. Okay, so I had a line at 61 coming in yesterday, kind of a broadening top line, and you have a wedge. And, I trade wedges, and the upper line of a rising wedge is a return line. The thing that, I've been waiting for this line in crude at 61. What happened yesterday is what I call a throwover, where it accelerates through a wedge line. Have you found that to be also the case, that and then once it accelerates through a line, you just wait for it to get back within that channel for it to be a signal?
Yeah, the break of a rising wedge is very tricky.
If we accelerate over this and went to 63, would you wait
and
for
then
it to
comes
come
back to back test?
No, comes back inside of it.
Inside of it is, yes. Then that's why I say it gets very tricky. Sometimes it's it kind of fakes it. Fakes the breakout, so it goes up and then comes down right back in. As you said, it's a throw over. So that's where I get a little bit too like cautious. But on this particular one, it has tried so many times. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 attempts on this green resistance.
Yeah,
and it's still holding. And I'm inclined more to the upside. If it breaks, it's not going to be a fake,
right? Because
of so many touches that it has. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of stops here, of course, short stops, and they will all be taken out. And obviously, I'm looking also on the indices. They are looking really strong. Everything at the moment looks fine. So it's logical to me that oil can go to 65, 70 band.
Okay. All right. So it's the line has contained it. I don't really see the stop argument, because I think that most of the bears have been trying to top pick it, because I know I've been doing
That's
it.
Right.
Probably have thrown in the towel. So we're looking at crude. Nice look there with a wedge. And you brought up indexes. What's that look like with your channels, Burak?
So this is
NASDAQ.
No, this is a UK index.
Okay.
Well, I can go very quickly, because I know it's not very interesting to many people. But the breakout of the orange channel, which was a very textbook channel, this golden one, was obviously screaming buy. And then it formed the red channel, which was really a perfect touch on its bottom band, and the third one. And this here is a standalone broken resistance where it held at its back test. And from there, it didn't look back, obviously, and it just made a new high. And maybe we may get a little bit of a stop over here. Maybe a pullback if it holds. From my point of view, I mean, when you have a standalone support or resistance, 2 touches is not enough. It has to have 3 touches to confirm it. To a line through 2 tops or 2 bottoms is just a line. That's according to my rules. I mean, people can have different rules, but for me, if it touches here and then reverses, then it is a resistance. Until then, it is just a line through 2 tops. And that's where I would maybe expect a reversal, and then the breakout at the forward, just like the rising resistance on oil, may open for more price, for more rally. This is S&P. Yes. Let me see. So this is the weekly. This low was the back test of this broken resistance, rising resistance.
And you have that line drawn before the crash that we had in December.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So you have two great lines: a crude line that tipped you off towards longs, and this S&P line.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to make your year.
Together. Yes, it all came all in, all together when it falls all together and it shows you an inflection point where everything points upwards or downwards. Then you get a good year.
Yeah,
if you catch something like that.
Okay.
On the shorter term is
we're approaching some resistance here.
Yes, it actually cleared one of the resistance with this new high.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the orange one. So these orange ones are the level resistance and support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, and the sixth one broke it, back tested twice, and it also found. Just a second. I like a little bit more accuracy. So let me do it like this. So you can see the green support. I was looking into this and saying if it touches and bounces, it becomes a support. Before that, it's just a line. It's just one channel potential. But the moment it touches and bounces, it becomes a support. And that's where it did. It's like a double support. And now it's heading towards, so because it cleared now this orange resistance as well, it may be heading towards the blue resistance, which has 3 touches. And breakout may be opening for the orange top band above 2,900, maybe 2,940 or something.
Yeah, that was Okay. Any views on the precious metals that have been under pressure?
Yeah.
Oh, what were you going to? You just, I don't want to call.
No. I can go ahead. This is the Russell 2000.
Yeah. Does it mean anything to you that the Russell's underperforming the rest of the indexes?
It was overperforming at some point,
right?
And it was making new highs where the others were not. So I'm not too worried.
It also peaked earlier last year before the big decline.
That's right. So it may be sometimes a leader, sometimes a laggard, but for now it is lagging. Yes, you can see it's not making new highs. But I'm actually fairly bullish. I'm myself is long because I saw this blue channel when it touched this here on the blue bottom band. It was a potential channel until then. But the moment it bounced, it kind of confirmed this as a channel, and which was also like a double support because of the red one. And that's where I said, okay, let's go ahead and buy it. And now the orange resistance is holding, and the more important one is the red one, which has already 4 touches. And I believe it's gonna eventually go ahead and take out 1,600 level and reach a new high as well. If it doesn't, because of the entrance here, that's what the channels is good for, because it's visible, it's visual, it doesn't leave much kind of like a speculation. It's my support is here, and if it's broken, I would short it. So I would reverse the trade and short it, and till then, the way's up.
Do you when you reverse out of a position, do you do it at the same time, or do you liquidate a long or short first and then initiate a position? Do you use reverse out stops?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't, because the moment this one breaks down, I may not be able to get in a good price. I may want to wait for a back test of that blue. So I'm a discretionary trader. So I'm and also the breakdown level is never known to me, because we never know when and how fast it can come here to break it. And that's why I would have to watch this. At the moment, my stops would be here, obviously, but in case it breaks. But I would have to watch this if it breaks, where to enter the short to judge that move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great view.
You asked for the precious metals. I've been quite a bearish person on the analysis that this red mega channel from 2011 highs. This is also again a log scale. You wouldn't see it on a normal scale. And this black resistance that has been quite accurate. And they both held. And I was also looking at the same thing on obviously the silver. Silver, sorry, this is not the one. This is a single one. So silver's big channel is here. Okay. Same channel. Yeah?
Okay. Where do your where do your return lines come in on both gold, your macro gold and your macro silver? I'm curious. Since it's is that going to be around $800? The red line, say into 2020.
Gold may fall all the way to 1,000 to this black bottom band. That would be a major support if it gets there. Not support, but potential support. Obviously, it has only one touch here. Yeah. So it can bounce here.
So I'm curious where the red line would come in if it broke that 1,000. Just I know.
Yeah, a lot.
Come on, give it to me.
Yeah. 880. Yes, it's about 800s. Yes.
Okay. You know what? You know what else is significant about 880 in gold?
Mm-hmm. What is that? No, I don't.
I'll tell you for $99 a month. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Burak, that was a high in December, January 1980, the last cycle bull market when Russia invaded Afghanistan. The high was 880, and sometimes as markets have long memories, longer than elephants, longer than us,
absolutely,
they'll come all the way back. So if you look at that, go all the way back to 1979, 1980. That's when gold went from like $50 when they made it legal, $200. They made it legal, and 75 for people to own gold again in the U.S. And it went from 200 to 100, and then up to 880, and that was during the Hunt silver squeeze. Anyway, a little history lesson from the professor. And that's why I wanted to see your bottom line. I just had a vibe that it might come in down there. So,
yes,
great coverage.
This is a shorter term outlook. The blue channel.
I have a problem. I do a lot of Nostra Pinkert stuff. Just because it's interesting, not because you can trade.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, your gold short term, you have support at this 1280 level.
This is 8 hourly. So the moment it bounced off this blue channel's bottom side, it kind of confirmed it as a channel, and it formed a green wedge, and it came down, and now it's broken, and the backtest had happened just in the last 2 days. And to me, it looks very, very bearish for the next few days, weeks, it could, whatever you call it. But for the moment, I'm short, and I'll keep it short. Same thing happened in a much better way on silver. 1 second, please.
Okay, show me your bottom red line in silver too. Your longer term macro.
I will do that.
All right.
So this one here.
$8.
This is this again small shorter time frame.
Right.
The red channel was again a bear flag, and the blue one was a textbook declining channel, and it's still holding. The back test you can see on the red. So it had 3 touches on the bottom, and now the back test happened, and now there is some level support here, the green one. And if it gets cleared, then we will be heading towards the blue bottom band.
Is that around 1430? That around 1430, that
Yeah,
bottom blue line?
I think
That's a target I have.
Yeah,
All right.
1440.
Okay.
Depends on how fast it gets there.
Yeah,
depending.
close enough for government work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you asked for the bottom line of the range. To be honest, the third touch on a channel obviously doesn't have to happen. It's already a channel with two touches on both sides. Okay. I never say, oh, it's gonna get tested for the third time, but if it does, then it would be $6, $7. You know, it's very low, very, very low. Yeah. If it eventually breaks,
we'd be in a depression then.
Yes. I mean, if it gets broken to the upside, obviously we will turn bullish and we'll buy it. But for the moment, the price action dictates lower prices.
Do you follow gold-silver ratio to know which one's leading and which one's lagging? And I also have a question from Forex Gal, and it's a great time to do this. She's asking, Burak, if you have a website.
Yeah.
You want to show it?
Tradingchannels.uk.
You can show it.
Yeah. Let me show it.
And that is also Burak's handle at Trading Channels. And there's his website. You know what? You have a great demeanor. Your EKG would not have erratic lines on it. And that's the kind of personality you need to be an effective trader, is just to stay calm and when everything about you is in flux. And I'm so glad I invited you back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Dale. Very kind of you.
Yeah, well, you know what? Thank you for being here, Burak, to edify our community and give us some great views and looks, both short term and long term. So we're going to do this again down the road. And thank you, Burak, my trading warrior brother, for being with us on Turnaround Tuesday and our anniversary week. This is our 2-year anniversary week. So thank you for helping us celebrate it with excellent work.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dale. Bye.
You're very welcome. Okay, everyone, that's a wrap. Claudia, I will invite him again. I read your mind. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. And remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow. Good hunting the rest of the day. And thank you again, Burak. And
thank you very much.
And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you for your attention. Adios.